maybe the bank will become a shopping mall. And it is a reality. We have done some projects on that. The banks will be changed to a shopping mall where all the stores will be taking the loan from the bank, so that every month the rent will come with the EMI. So it will be a great arrangement. So banks real estate will be used for something else. Or it may be a cafe, a great coffee shop, a Glasgow based bank where they have done this. And if I have an account with this bank, in that case, my coffee price will be discounted by 80%. So if one cup of coffee is £3, so I will get it as 60 pence. So whenever I am drinking coffee, maybe a lady will sit on the other hand side, and she will say that, I am Angelina. I shall tell you something. By the time you have your coffee is steaming coffee. Maybe you don't want to talk to her, but because they are giving you such a discount in this premium shop, you will say, yes, ma'am. What will you want to say? Sir, we have a product. We have an insurance product. Every day you just give £1 of premium. You will be covered for this amount. So in that way, they can sell. So this is one idea, that it can be changed to a cafe, and cafe is a part of our culture right now, thanks to our Cafe Coffee Day, and many outlets have come like that. Whenever we buy a car, we actually buy two things. We buy the car and we buy a car loan, a credit. So if instead of going to the car dealer, if I go to the bank, and bank gives me the loan and I buy the car, that can be one option. So maybe the ground floor of the bank may be used for a car showroom. Therefore, the look of the bank may change drastically, because many of the banks are thinking like that. But banks have to be very careful about the security. Maybe the area where I take up maximum programs, that is the risk management, enterprise risk management, risk governance. These are the areas which will be becoming very important, because banks are facing a lot of problems because of the security lapses. So the KYC documentation is checked and may be verified at different intervals. In many of the cases, the things are that KYC means it is not only your Aadhaar card. Maybe whenever I shall give you a loan, I will find out whether you have defaulted. Maybe your CIBIL rating is very good, but I may find that in your school, whenever your child is studying over there, every month you normally delay, and after that you pay with fine. That is not a good thing. So maybe they will see a lot of other things. So it will be a kind of an espionage. I have written KYC as well as KYE, know your employees, because the banker, so if a banker is a fraudster, in that case, he or she may practically ruin the bank. So that is something that means the parties, the clients and the bankers, their characteristics should be constantly judged. Maybe that will be a function which will be very important. We were talking about fintech partnership. At the same time, credit rating agencies are very important. Today with us, we have the head of the BDRL, Bangladesh Rating Limited head, Mr. Javed. He is there with us. They are doing a fabulous job. Whenever you are actually rating the customers, especially the organizations, that give a lot of insight to the bankers while providing loans. So the credit rating agencies, they play a very important role. Then external fraud inspectors, because whenever you are there inside, sometimes it becomes very difficult to understand where from fraud will come. And efficient and reliable valuers. This is another important thing. You find the gentleman, you know, all of you know Mr. Nirav Modi, who actually did everything, every of a bit of his juggling with these valuers. whenever in Punjab National Bank, I showed a diamond and I say that for this I require the letter of credit. I'm telling that this diamond cost 10 crores of rupees. I am a middle class banker. I have sat for an examination and got my job. I have never valued diamonds. So whenever he's showing me, I don't know whether its real value is 10 crore or 1 crore, or not even, or if even 1 lakh or 50,000 rupees. So what am I doing? The banker's norm, I bring in an external valuer. So who is the valuer? A diamond expert from Gujarat. He will come, he will see, but he is doing regular business with this gentleman. So will he give you the right valuation? He will always support the other one. Therefore, we have to look for a system of efficiency, and maybe these are the areas where banks have to be very vigilant, and these departments should be important. Therefore, credit monitoring, constant evaluation of the mortgages and collaterals, these are some of the things where the banks have to give more importance. This is from Sonali Bank. There was a big scam of Hallmark, which I am not going into because our time is limited. I have to finish because maybe some observations, some queries will come. So here also we find that these kind of things we have to check and verify, especially the internal audit and other things that must be strengthened. This will be another challenge. Already this is knocking at the door, that is cryptocurrency. We are using our currencies. We have some parity with dollar, yen, and different other currencies. We have the direct rates, cross rates, but these kind of private currencies without regulation of a central bank, they are creating havoc. Maybe in some of the cases, some organizations, they want ransom in the form of bitcoins or some of the things. Maybe this will be a big challenge for the banks to face. Should they accept this, or will the government bring this kind of currencies? Maybe that future will tell. The most important part of the bank is the governance. The top part, that is the board of directors and board of executive. Who will become the chairman of the bank? Who will become the CEO of the bank? Normally for our private sector bank, it is the same person who becomes we call it CMD, chairman cum managing director, because the owner is the government. But whenever it's a private bank, you see the case of Yes Bank, one person, one family, whenever they have such a stake and they have the decision-making power, the bank was doing fine of what has happened to the bank. Therefore, this board should, and every independent director should actually provide their roles. Otherwise, we cannot save the bank. So few banks, they will do very good job where the leadership is correct. And they should look at the risk management. Not only be confined with Basel, what Basel is telling. Yes, Basel is giving you the basic minimum, but you have to go for the whole enterprise-wide risk management. A lot of other things you have to check. Internal audit, credit appraisal, constant monitoring of risk-weighted assets, monitoring the collaterals, and the borrowers must be in touch, and the trade finance, which is very important. Whenever people say that banks will be only on wallet, that will be there in our mobile. No, there, if you go for that, that may be the retail banking, the personal banking. But the trade finance, where you require the letter of credit, where you have to check and verify the consignments, that part will be a very important part of the bank. And there we have to have the vision. I am just at the end of my presentation. This is a bank. This is a case of Malaysia. I'm not mentioning the name of the bank, which has a big building over there. But right now they are changing. They are making it a shopping mall and a hotel. There is a hotel block also, and everything. All the parties had to take loan from the bank. And the two blue arrows that you are seeing, only that portion, 7 to 8 rooms, that the bank will keep. And there, what are the things they will be doing? They will have their treasury function over there. They will have their credit appraisal over there. they will have their database and the database management system over there. It will be the technology hub. Only a small space that is enough for having their headquarters, and the rest of the places it will be a mall. Therefore, banks will have less space, but they will do a lot of important things. Thank you very much for listening to me. It is 8:57. I wanted to complete it by 8:50. So I'm so sorry I have taken 7 minutes more. So maybe I can take some questions. Shani Nayak, she is a faculty of Sri Shikshasan College. She will be taking the questions from the chat box and she will forward it to me. Thank you very much for listening.
Yes, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes, so there are a few questions. Well, the first one comes from Shupratik Mitra, and he says that, sir, do you think that merger of Indian and nationalized banks is done to cover up the rising NPAs caused due to misgovernance?
You are partially right. Yes, misgovernance were always there, because sometimes I had the opportunity of being there in the interview boards of the bankers as an external expert. There, I have seen that how the CMDs or maybe the executive directors to become CMDs, they keep in touch or they make their relationship with the finance ministry, the finance minister, and it was whenever it was Arun Jaitley, they used to go to him, or P. Chidambaram, or Mr. Pranab Mukherjee. So it was like that. So misgovernance was there. Many times if the political decisions were taken that the interest rates should be slashed. So that part is there. But one major thing is that whenever it is from the risk management point of view, if you just have a small stick, and if a dog comes and if you just beat it, you can make the dog afraid of you. But if an elephant comes, with that stick you cannot do. Therefore, whenever an organization is big, it can actually sustain more damages, more risk like that. Therefore, this is a global trend that there must be, the banks must be big. They should have adequate capital so that even if there is an NPA, they can come out. Suppose Punjab National Bank. If you see Punjab National Bank, so many crores of rupees have been taken away by Nirav Modi, but still it is doing fine because it is big. Or maybe State Bank of India. Vijay Mallya, still State Bank of India shows 11,000 crores default there. But is State Bank affected? Look at its stock price. It has touched 195 today. So whenever we see the bigger banks, they are more resilient. Therefore, that's a global trend. We have found that suppose ABN AMRO Bank that was taken over by Royal Bank of Scotland, or we have found that this is going on. ICICI Bank had taken over Bank of Rajasthan Limited. Before that, they have taken over their parent company, the mother company ICICI. HDFC Bank has taken over the combination of Centurion Bank of Punjab and Centurion Bank and the Bank of Punjab. They became Centurion Bank of Punjab. They have taken the entities. So there will be more and more mergers that will be coming, and that will ultimately give efficiency. But the reason that you have identified, you are not wrong. It is very valid. Thank you very much.
Sir, the next question comes from Abhishek Shen. He says that how would technology help in assessing the creditworthiness for the MSME sector?
Okay. That's a good question for the MSME sector. If we want to get the creditworthiness from the transactions, we normally do not have data, because MSME sectors they have a small history, so you cannot see the the financial statements for a long period of time. You cannot check that what has happened 5 years back or all these 5 years. Therefore, in many of the cases, the MSME's history is to be checked with the personal credibility of the people who have actually promoted this organization. Therefore, from there you can identify how they will actually do. Therefore, in those cases, maybe all the directors or maybe the whatever name they give, if it's a partnership company, in that case the partners, their credibilities are to be checked. Maybe in that case we can get a way out. And even as you said, we are also trying to do this kind of a thing for the microfinance part, because whenever loans were given in the form of microfinance, at first it was a small amount, so the risk was very less. Maybe giving the villagers 2,000 rupees each. Maybe some ladies, they make a self-help group giving 3,000, 5,000 like that. But because of having their credit history, right now sometimes even 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs of rupees are also given, or maybe 6 lakhs taka is given. So in that case, maybe some rating is required. So we are also working on that with some of the companies so that we can help them. And it should be very simple so that you can find it out. So that's the thing for MSME. As I was talking about BDRL, they are actually doing the rating for the MSMEs. So they do a lot of researches to find out the credibility of these MSMEs. And MSMEs are of different types, and therefore it becomes more difficult. But still, there are way outs from where you can actually assess at least before giving the credit. Thank you.
Yes, sir. There is another interesting question that has come from Mr. Malhar Mujumdar. He says that if banks move to business of hotels and malls, then what will hoteliers do? Why banks doesn't concentrate in banking so that we achieve capital allocation efficiency? Don't you think third-party product distribution is not helping?
No, Malhar. It is not that the banks will go for managing the hotels. And especially in India, there has been a Supreme Court judgment long back. It was the Starling Resorts. There they had pledged their shares with Punjab National Bank, and at some point of time they were not repaying their loans. So Punjab National Bank had taken over the hotel. But the hotel or the resort had moved to court, and in the High Court, that gave the judgment in favor of Punjab National Bank. But in Supreme Court, the judgment came that the banks actually run under the Banking Regulation Act 1949, not the Companies Act. Therefore, you cannot run a company which is doing other business. You have to run the banking business only. So this judgment and the whole ethos of banking, they cannot do the business of doing hotel. So they have to bring in the hoteliers to run the hotel. So I have the space. So I may call the Hilton Group to make the hotel. So I shall give them a loan, and they will give me in the form of EMI, plus they will give me the rent. So that will be a stream of income that I will generate. Maybe I will call KFC, maybe through Divyani International. So they will take loan, they will make the shop, and they will pay me. Therefore, they will call in other people. They will not make the shopping mall. In that case, that will be actually the end of banking. So that's the thing which they are doing. Even as I am talking about, even in Malaysia, the banks cannot do other business. Because you raise this question, there is something very serious. Whenever we see the third-party product and the banking products, you see that some of the banks, which is providing the banking services, they have got an insurance arm, or at the same time they have got mutual funds. So they are actually doing a number of businesses. But what they are doing, they are making some subsidiaries. But whenever, suppose a particular bank, suppose Bank A, it has got a subsidiary which is doing the share transaction business, demat related business. So they are sending you some tips that you buy these shares. That means you are taking your money from banks. So sometimes things are making a lot of queries, even from RBI, that how much a bank can really do. So, even through its subsidiaries, should they do any kind of business? But here, at least I am very clear, no, they should not go for businesses. And yes, the third party business is giving them enough income, and practically they are actually eating the rice from the plates of some people who have really created wealth for the mutual funds. Because we have got some friends, and even you people, you advised many of the people to go for SIPs, mutual funds, and others. But suddenly the banks are taking away the things, and because government is saying mutual fund sahi hai, but all the commissions have come down in the expense ratio. So banks are taking the advantage. So they are earning a lot of money from there. Thank you for the question. It is really interesting.
Okay, sir, the next question comes from Mr. R.S. Joshi. He asks how moratorium issue will impact the share of banks in the coming months.
This is an interesting question because Mr. R.S. Joshi is from Patiala, Punjab, and he is a very interesting fellow. He does a lot of research on different companies and things. Yes, moratorium will have an impact, but share market is a place which has its own logic. So it may not have an impact on the share market if the market remains the kind of crazy right now. It will take the things on its stride. Yes, for some months the banks are not earning much because many of the people, they have not given their EMI. But whenever they will give their EMI, so those who have missed 3 months of EMI, bank may actually enhance it. So there was a case, it was enhanced by 16 months. So later on, banks will make the amount recoup. So it will come back. And many of the people, they are thinking that maybe by September the COVID-19 effect will be gone, and or maybe October, or maybe by November it will be gone. By that time, things will be again very high, and because many of the people are thinking that Trump is looking for his re-election, and therefore Trump is actually making the corporate community in USA in such a way that US market is also very high. Therefore, during this period, the market sentiment, if that remains like this, in that case, maybe you may not see any impact of moratorium on this, because after August, people will be paying their EMI. So again, things will be taken care of. But yes, moratorium will have a financial impact on the bank, but at the same time, they have to pay less amount of taxes. So from the income tax point of view also, the banks have to shell less. Thank you.
So the next question comes from Oyun Banerjee. He asks that the students who are dreaming to get a job in bank, future bank will ask a totally different dimensions from the students as the usage of floor space is changing. What do you think, sir? What should be included in the syllabus to teach students about banks?
So they should know about the basics of banking. Somehow I find that here that is missing, because even in the graduation syllabus, again I am going to the academics part, we do not have a proper banking paper. Only some of the base schools, they have some banking specializations. Otherwise, if you see BCom, BBA, MCom, banking papers are less. Right now it has been introduced, and you people are teaching students. So they don't have a basic idea of banking. Maybe that they have to do. But basic banking everyone has to know. But what they have to know is that how to convince people. Actually, what I find is that many students, they are averse of actually marketing the thing. But banks marketing, banks product or services marketing is different. suppose whenever someone sells me a car, whenever someone sells me a biscuit, the way they market, if someone comes from a bank and if I find that he is just like my son or daughter, and the way he is or she is explaining that is on logic, maybe I shall buy the things. For that, you may not have to come with a tie with a lot of gadgets showing off that our products are like this. Therefore, banks' product marketing is also different. You have to make people convinced. But here we find that many of the people try to cheat others. They don't say a lot of things and they try to sell the things. Maybe that is not the avenue. Therefore, our students must be knowing that what are the features of banking products and how the banks run, and they should actually look for some of the specific areas of banking. That maybe I am good in internal audit, in that case I shall look for that only. Bank will first put you to different places and ultimately they will actually appoint you where you have your real skill. So that's the thing. So the students will find that banking is the industry where a lot of appointment will take place at least in the next 5 to 10 years. So maybe many students can look for banking jobs. And banks may look for people who have knowledge of stock market investment. Maybe they will be appointed in the investment division. Maybe they will be appointed as personal bankers or maybe to equity research and all that. So there are opportunities. So they have to take it and they have to prepare themselves whenever they are studying. As I was telling yesterday, in many of the cases, students look for marks only. They don't want to study, they don't want to learn. That's the problem that we find. Thank you.
Yes, sir. How many more questions would you like to take?
Already this is 9:14.
Sir, just one question.
Okay, make it 2.
Okay. Okay, sir. This question comes from Shubhra Shamunto. She says, most of the private banks are using their database, especially the PSU banks, for selling life insurance products for a bulk commission. Do you see this trend to be sustainable? What is the regulator's view?
The regulator's view will come from Mr. Shaktikant Das. That I cannot give. But I can tell you that maybe as an ethical principle, this is not correct. But if you look from a bank's business point of view, they are earning money because they are getting huge commission from them. And in many cases, people are cheated. Maybe we have found that there was a case that a gentleman calling a senior citizen that you have made a life insurance which has actually lapsed long back. You paid only 2 premiums. So right now, if you pay 1 lakh rupees, in that case, all your premium you will be getting back. And that gentleman, he is one of my neighbors. He paid a check, and ultimately he got due. So maybe it is sometimes used by the miscreants, the fraudsters like that. So as a matter of principle, it may not be right, but right now we are in the buyer beware world. So whenever we get any phone calls, we really do not believe them. And whenever we find phone calls from these numbers, we generally disconnect. Sometimes the phones mention that it's a spam call. So that's the thing. But as a principle, this is not right. Yes, Shannon.
Sir, Sir, the last question for today. Is there any opportunity for tech giants like Amazon, Google to enter banking through forward integration? Can we say banking is losing their USP of giving financial security?
Actually, Google, Amazon, these companies may be a big threat to the banks because they have a huge database. And the data is like that. Maybe whenever I find Google, Google knows where I am going, where I am having my food, in which college and university I am going, in which company I am going. It is actually, in a sense, spying everywhere, because there is a place that where I can give comment about a restaurant or wherever I have visited. So sometimes I find that that gives me that in Mumbai you went to this restaurant, you give an opinion about that. You can write, you can make a link like that. So Google has a lot of information, and even what I am buying, what I am selling, like that. The same is there with Amazon. So there is a danger in it. Till the time they are ethical companies, it's good. But if the companies or some people who are working in the company can do mischief, they can do. So if they want to enter banking, maybe we have to take it with a lot of caution, because we are in a sense lucky that our country, our Reserve Bank of India, this is a very conservative bank. Maybe we have found that the way it was run by Dr. Raghuram Rajan, maybe it is not run in that way. But still, it is more traditional. Its regulatory systems are very powerful. Therefore, even the big industrial groups, they look for banking licenses. Bandhan Bank got it, but they didn't get. Therefore, we can still rely upon our central bank so that they don't get the permission. But in some of the cases, suppose we have already paid through GPay in many places. In Samsung, in Amazon's wallet, even some of even my money is there. So that is Amazon Pay. Sometimes we are also keeping money. So in a sense, they are working as small banks or maybe as payment wallet. They may look for the banking space, but it is to see how our central bank takes the action to protect people.
Yes, sir. So
Thank you.
thank you for all the untiring answers that you gave us. You always keep on catering to our questions. Over to Professor Shaptushi Ray for the vote of thanks.
Okay, so it is my pleasure to offer a formal vote of thanks. First, I would like to thank Sir Professor Arup Chaudhary for such a mesmerizing experience that he shared with us through his speech. Sir, we get to know a lot of things beyond the purview of our syllabus. Thank you, sir, for sharing your ideas on next generation banking, artificial intelligence, the cyber security, blockchain technology. Uh, Next, I would like to thank Mr. Gautam Karmakar, the Honorable General Secretary of ICAA, Sri Michael Rocha, Senior Architect IBM, Professor Shani Naik, Faculty Member UG and PG Department of Commerce, Sri Shiksha College, all the members of Acacia Global LLP, and finally all the respected, last but not the least, all the respected participants from India, Bangladesh, Nepal and abroad. Thank you, sir, for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you so much. And I think you can also tell them to fill the form which
Yes,
you are sharing.
The feedback
Yes.
form has already been shared. So kindly fill it up by today. Okay. The certificates will be issued based on the feedback form. So kindly fill up your name, your organizations properly so that we can just issue certificates to you. We will require around 5 days to issue the certificate. Maybe before that, we will try to send the certificates to you over email. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. So today's session has ended, I guess. Thank you, sir, once
Yes,
again.
sir. Thank you so much, and thank you all the participants. I was just going through the grid because whenever I was taking the sessions, I couldn't see everybody. I find all my ex-students, my colleagues, my friends, people from Singapore, Bangladesh, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, they are all there. So I'm so grateful to all of you. Thank you very much, and very soon we'll come up with another seminar, and where the governor, the ex-governor of Bangladesh Bank, Dr. Atiur Rahman, will be there. We will let you know maybe within a day or two. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
We are
sir.
signing off for today, sir.
Mhm.